Hi, I'm Barry with Broken Wheel Gaming, and I'm here to talk to you about my top 10 favorite games of all time. Now, any list like this is going to be subjective, but I feel like my list is maybe more fluid than some others. At any time, any one of these games might go up or down depending on how I'm feeling that day, what kind of mood I'm in. But in general, this is a pretty good slice of what my favorite games are and the types of mechanics and designs that I like in games. So we're going to start off with number 10, The Others. Now, The Others is a board game designed by Eric Lang and released by CMON Games. Now, this game was the first game that I went and got everything for, all the upgrades, every upgraded piece and component, every expansion, but I didn't get it when it came out for Kickstarter. I bought the core game and fell in love with it, so I went and had to search out every single other piece separately. It took a long time, uh, and consequently, I didn't get it all until over a year after I started. But the game is amazing. Eric Lang, uh, as you'll see, is one of my favorite game designers, and the game works a little differently than most other games. It's asymmetrical, and you have one player against every other player. Now, you could do two players, but that's not as fun. But the one player will take charge of one of the avatars of sin, one of the seven deadly sins. You pick between any of the seven deadly sins for any game, and then the other players, the other two to four other players, will be the survivors. Now, those survivors are trying to beat the Avatar of Sin, and whereas the Avatar of Sin is trying to take over the city of Haven. Uh, what what really gets me about this game is that while the survivors have our typical turn structure, everyone takes a turn. The Avatar does not have turns; he has reactions. So he might let three turns go by unanswered, and then start just immediately responding, and that asymmetrical action causes can cause a lot of havoc for the survivor players. So the game consequently can be extremely challenging and brutal in how you have to go back and forth against each other. This is really, really why I like The Others. My number 9 is Pan Am. Pan Am is a somewhat typical route making game, but it works slightly different than, say, Ticket to Ride, in that you get to sell your routes off to the Pan Am airline company to earn money. The money is then in turn used to buy stocks, and the person at the end of the game with the most stocks is the winner. Now, this game at first blush seems very straightforward, but it's just thinky enough that you have to double check what you're doing. You wonder, is this player going to get this route that I want? Are they going to get by an airport at the place where I want to get my landing rights for my ship? You also get the directive cards, which might throw a big wrench into the works for your opponents, or unfortunately for you as well. Now, the game by Funko Games and designed by Prospero Hall is very pretty, but but also just strategic enough that if you think about it, you can't just luck your way into a win. But luck will still have you be a contender if you decide that you don't want to really put any thought into it. So for this reason, I am a fan of Pan Am. My number 8 is Horrified. It's published by Ravensburger and designed by Prospero Hall. Now, this game is a cooperative game where you play as the people, for lack of a better word, and you're trying to defeat between 2 and 4 of the Universal Studios monsters. You've got Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Wolfman. Now, the fact that this is a cooperative game actually removes some of the objective that some people might have for as beginning gamers. They might not want the conflict. That seems to be something that stops new gamers from joining the hobby, right? They don't want to conflict with other people. Now, this is not a universal concern, obviously, but it is a concern for some people. This removes that, but because the game is somewhat punishing, you can't just win. It makes it worth playing, and you have to actually think about your strategies and what you're going to do. I very much enjoy this game, and I have fun almost every time I play it. For that reason, it's my number 8. No, The Godfather, Corleone's Empire, is my number 7. This game is published by CMON and designed by Eric Lang. Eric Lang, as you know by now, is one of my favorite game designers. This game has his typical fingerprints in that the game is split up into separate ages or stages. But this game combines area control and resource management in a way that makes you think about what you're trying to do in the game. The fact that when I first tried this game at a game store, we had a introduction to the game, and I bought it right away because between stages you have to discard down to a certain number of cards. And when I realized that I could not decide which of these cards to keep because they're all so potentially good or all so potentially useless at the same time, I was hooked. I'm like, this game is so good. So I had to have it, and then I bought it, and to this day, when I play this game, well, I'm not very good at it, I must admit. I never have a bad time while I'm playing it. So on to number 6. And number 6 is Cold War, CIA versus KGB. Now, this is the only 2-player game I have on my list. In it, 2 players are going against each other using a sort of blackjack type of mechanic to try to reach a target number based on the operation that you draw for that round. You have a limited number of cards with which you can reach that number, and every card you draw has one of 4 different abilities. Now, these abilities are the real magic of the game. You can destroy other cards, make other cards ready again. You can swap cards, and then you have your CIA or KGB agent that has a special power that activates after the round is completed. Sometimes it makes almost no difference, but other times it might end up making a very bad day for your opponent. So this game, it's very simple in concept, but because you can mess around with it just enough to make it interesting, I always have a lot of fun playing this game. It's also, without question, the smallest footprint game that's on my list. I can take it with me anywhere. I'm always a fan for this game. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's very, very short, but very fulfilling. And I'm always willing to play. So, on to my number 5. My number 5 is Blood Rage. CMON Games and Eric Lang make yet another appearance on my list. CMON Games recently sold this property off as part of their mythology trilogy. This is the first of the 3. The second deals with Asian mythology, and the third with Egyptian mythology. But this one is by far my favorite of the 3. In it, you are playing a Norse tribe, and you are recruiting various gods and monsters to assist you in trying to take over the Nordic realms. All while trying to fight off and survive Ragnarok, which will strike 3 times during the game, and then using the gods' blessings to try to get the favor of said gods and try to get the most glory points for your team. This game is beautiful in execution, as well as just the strategy is not quite unmatched, but it's very good. I'm again a fan of this game, and I recommend if anybody likes dudes on a map fighting style games and Norse mythology, this game might be for you. And now on to number 4. My number 4 favorite game is Pandemic. This is the only other cooperative game on my list. The game does not stretch on for hours at a time. In general, you could play this game in an hour. You play one of up to 4 scientists that are trying to cure and eradicate diseases spreading throughout the world. This game is designed by Matt Leacock and has one of the most imaginative and greatest mechanics I have seen in any game. The so-called pandemic mechanic is just phenomenal, and I'm extremely fond of how it works in the game. Now you travel across the world and you have to try to eradicate diseases, as I said, but this game can very quickly spiral out of control to the point where if you're not careful, you have no chance of success. So that makes it worthwhile to be a cooperative game. And again, the cooperative nature of the game takes away one of the obstacles that some people have for gaming. So this is a very good introduction to the hobby for a lot of people. I'm very fond of this game as well, and that is my number 4, Pandemic. On to number 3. My number 3 is Champions of Midgard, published by Gray Fox Games. Now this has the Viking theme, which you may have realized I'm fond of by this time. At its heart, this is a worker placement game. 1 to 4 players take on the roles of Viking leader, and you try to arrange for your Viking tribe to outdo the other tribe. You're killing trolls and monsters, traveling off to kill to foreign lands to slay mighty beasts. It's quite a fun time. I myself am fond of always giving Vic the blame for not killing the trolls. And this game, unlike many other games, I always want to play with every expansion available because this game takes something up that might be otherwise unused and lets you do something with it. But if you ignore this expansion, it will not be of a great detriment to you. It can only add. And so if you ignore it, you still do pretty well. So for that reason, I am very fond of the Champions of Midgard. On to my number 2. My number 2 game is Dune Imperium. Now, this game is published by Direwolf Games. At its heart, it is a deck building game combined with worker placement. This game has a lot of expansions available for it, but unlike Champions of Midgard, this game, I would not want to use more than 1 or 2 of those expansions at a time, because it can get messy if you try. But if you use just one expansion, the game is phenomenal. You fight against each other. You try to get the house's allegiance. You try to you fight for resources, the water, the spice, the Solari, which is the money, and all the while trying to outposition yourself to do better than your opponents. This game is so much fun, but again, if you try to do too many expansions at one time, it's going to get messy. So I really would just use 1, maybe 2. There's a lot. And that is my number 2, Dune Imperium. Before we get on to my number 1, I have a few honorable mentions I would like to bring up right now. Number 4 of my honorable mentions is Backgammon. Now this game it's strong in nostalgia for me. Maybe it's not the greatest game, but it is among the oldest games there are, and it occupied a huge part of my youth, and as such, has a special place in my heart. Now, as a youth, I played a lot of games: Pente, Stratego. I played Clue, but this one, so many nights staying up at the drive-in in Bob's van, we were playing backgammon. It was just a load of fun. So it again, very special place in my heart. The next for the honorable mentions is the Unmatched System. Now this game, I have almost everything that is available for this game. It's 2 to 4 players. It's extremely stripped down. Like, if you were to take, say, a Warhammer type game, but strip it down to the barest of bones, this is kind of what you would get. They simplified every mechanic so that way anybody can approach it. And then you play cards to play your guys, and it only takes a few minutes to finish the game. The game is so much fun, but it's not quite great. So it only gets an honorable mention. The next would be Citadels. Now, I catch a lot of flack for this, but I always have fun with this game. Every time I play it. It's 2 to 8 players. Everybody takes on roles. Depending on the number of players, you might have more than one role. And every role has a specific ability. And you play the card and try to build these buildings and get the money. And you get to screw over your neighbors. It's a lot of fun. But again, not quite great. And then my final of my honorable mentions would be Abomination, the Heir of Frankenstein. Now this game is beautifully well done. It's a fun game where you play cards and try to collect body parts to make a partner for Frankenstein's monster. The reason it's not in my top 10 is because it overstays its welcome. It's the 3 hours at least to play this game. Now there's some alternate rules that make the game shorter. The problem with that though is that you don't get to finish what you would do for the game. You would still have a winner, but the likelihood of actually being successful in making the partner for the Frankenstein's monster is extremely small. So that's why it's not quite on my list. And now on to my number 1. And my number 1 game of all time is Twilight Imperium 4th Edition. Now this game is an event game. The group I play it with, we play it only twice a year. And that's probably a huge contributing factor to it being my favorite, is that we don't get to play it a whole heck of a lot. And to be honest, I don't know if I'd want to play it a whole heck of a lot because this game is intense. It takes most of the day. It says 480 minutes, but our group tends to make it take quite a bit longer. We have meal plans set aside for the day of this game. We have people coming in from other states to play this game. All right, this is a massive game of space conquest and exploration, a lot of fighting, but there's also a lot of politics involved in this game, and that is what makes it set apart from other games that look like it. Born on laws and agendas try to give advantages or disadvantages to other players, all while you're trying to make the machinations work for you, so that way you can be the one to be the emperor of the galaxy. This game is so fun. I can't recommend it enough, but it's quite the table hog. It takes up a massive amount of space, so you have to be able to host this game properly to be able to have fun with it. But I wouldn't have it any other way. And this game is, without a doubt, my number 1. So that's my top 10. I'm Barry for Broken Wheel Gaming, and thank you so much for watching.
Hey there, we want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to watch more videos just like this one that you just saw, hit the subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can get notified whenever we put out new content. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.